Tell me if this sounds familiar. My narcissistic ex is always 10 steps ahead. He charms everyone while I look like the crazy one. First of all, girlfriend, I love you so much. Stop saying that. It makes you sound whiny and like a victim. But not only that, every time you say those words, you reinforce the story in your mind. You are literally creating more of what you do not want. You are the one perpetuating the story. And even if it's true, even if they do seem charmed by him, I promise you it's temporary. Eventually, the mask slips. And by the way, who says you can't be charming? I mean, think about marketing. Yeah, there are a lot of slick marketing campaigns out there for totally bogus, sleazy products that do not work. But if there is an amazing, truthful product that does work, shouldn't they also have a slick marketing campaign? Also, these narcissists all take from the same playbook. They are totally predictable. And stop trying to think you can change them. Honey, it's like dealing with a robot. They have one program and you aren't going to be the one to change it. I hope you're still watching because I love you, girl, and I've been in your shoes. Tell me if this sounds familiar. The family court system is broken. There's no justice. They don't see narcissistic abuse. Another drum you want to stop beating. Stop saying the family court system is broken unless you want that to be your reality. The truth is, some people are really invested in their identity and story as a victim. If you're really honest with yourself, being a victim does serve you in some way. Maybe you get attention or sympathy or pity. Also, victims don't have to take any responsibility. What happens to them is not their fault. They can't be blamed. Now, I'm not saying that people don't do really crappy things to other people, but being a victim is a mindset and you do not want to unpack and stay there. At least I hope you don't. Because the thing is, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So if we are identified as a victim, then we are just going to attract more circumstances that reinforce that story, that identity. And honestly, who wants that? I met this woman who legitimately was the victim of a narcissistic, abusive mother, and then married a carbon copy of that personality type, ended up going to an abused women's shelter to get out, but was so entrenched in her victim mentality that she ended up being re-victimized by the court system and losing custody of her kids to her ex, and then complained, well, my lawyer hates me, his lawyer hates me, the guardian ad litem hates me, the custody evaluator hates me, the judge hates me. And as she's saying this, I'm like starting to hate her too. It's like, girlfriend, you are the common denominator in every single situation, and your expectation is so strong that you are manifesting these circumstances unconsciously. And maybe she really just loved to complain. Maybe she really loved this identity of victimhood. I don't know. But that's not for me. And I'm guessing if you're listening to this, it's not for you either. Honestly, I believe the reason I always experienced success in family court is because of my background in law enforcement. I spent 20 years as a cop testifying in court. I had a positive expectation of the court system. I was accustomed to being listened to by judges and juries, that my word mattered, that it was accepted as true. I mean, think about criminal court. Somebody can't just step on the witness stand and say, that guy's a killer. He's a total jerk. He's totally guilty. I just know it. I can feel it. Ugh, can't you feel the bad vibes he's giving off? As a cop, there were plenty of times that I just had hunches, an eternal knowing. But as my mentor said, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Or as my mother said, a good author doesn't tell, they show. Or in other words, maybe you tell through the showing. Like an author, instead of saying the character is evil, they will show you their character through the character's actions and words. Finally, tell me if this sounds familiar. You become so consumed with anger and rage and feelings of resentment and injustice that occupies more of your headspace than the love you have for your children and the loving responsibility that you have as their mom. So here's the thing, girlfriend. Nobody is coming to save you. There might be somebody that can do a little triage work and stop the hemorrhaging, but after that, nobody can do the work for you. And what's the work? Yes, there are actions that need to be taken in this court, in the terrestrial courts, so to speak. But you want to take the game to a different level. You want to play the game on the home court. If you've ever played sports, maybe you remember the term home court advantage. And the home court is your inner world. It's your thoughts, your belief system, your expectations. It's your energy. That's where you have control, your alignment, your consciousness. Now you might be saying, oh, that sounds very nice, Hannah. You just want me to feel good on the inside, so I don't care what's happening on the outside. And that is absolutely not true. Our consciousness is the seed level of reality. Our outer world is a projection of our consciousness. Our consciousness is where we have control. And yes, there's a lag time. It does take a minute for the 3D reality to catch up to our inner world. And this is where most people fall off. They champion a new mindset for a while, they get really good at it, but when they don't see those immediate results, they say, this stuff doesn't work, and they become even more embittered and jaded than they were before they began the process. And this is where faith comes in, right? Faith is an unshakable belief in the unseen, while not being attached to the result. Any good truth, which can really only be recognized by the mature soul, which is really the point of this whole process, by the way, spoiler alert. If you've ever wondered, why me, God? Why am I going through this? I'm a good person. What did I do to deserve this? I promise you, this is a gift wrapped in a really ugly package. But you need to unwrap the package. You need to peel the fruit to get to the good stuff inside, which is so sweet. I promise you. The truth is, nothing is sweeter to the soul than the taste of self-growth, of maturation, of ripening, if you will. I mean, think about it. The sweetest fruits, when they're ripe, taste the most bitter when they're unripe. So listen, girlfriend, if you are ready to make a real change at the subatomic seed level of reality, rather than just coping with effects, I'm talking about going to the cause, to the root. If you're ready to go there, then leave the Facebook groups where everyone's complaining about their narcissistic ex, leave that echo chamber, put down the book about divorcing a narcissist, stop making it about them. Make it about you. This is here for you to grow from. Fighting with your ex is just shadowboxing. It's like dealing with symptoms instead of going to the root cause. So if this sounds like something you are ready to do, head on over to my website. It's thebookofyou.life, the book of you, because aren't you ready to start writing your own story? One in which you're the hero, by the way, not the victim. And check out some of the courses. I personally recommend The Art of Spiritual Self-Defense as a great starting point. There's also coursework on pro se representation, which is also a form of self-defense. And but my very favorite, I think the foundational class that everybody should take is the text-based course, You Are What You Hate, based on the text of the same name, You Are What You Hate, A Spiritually Productive Approach to Enemies by Sarah Yehudit Schneider. You can also book a one-on-one, one-time session with me. I will say that those spots are filling up as of right now, depending on when you're listening to this. I think the next availability is in January of 2026, or you can apply for a coaching package, either in regards to energetic alignment during your divorce, or specifically pro se coaching and guidance, if that is the route that is right for you. You can also just continue to enjoy the free content on YouTube. I totally think that there's enough juicy stuff here that if you really take it in and internalize it, that can be enough. It really all comes down to you and the energetic investment that you are ready to make. Either way, you got this. I believe in you, and I love you. Bye.